Now, before I start this video, I just want to say that if you are someone who is a public figure or trying to become a public figure, please do not make up things about yourself that someone can go and fact check. People need to remember that there are journalists for a reason. That is one thing that I learned when I was in college, and yes, I graduated from the University of Houston, and I have my degree to prove it. You can look me up. Anyway, one of the things I learned I was a journalism major, and the number one thing about being a journalist is to fact check. So when you are doing a piece on a person or any type of journalistic piece, always check your facts because there will be someone who will come behind you and make sure that what you have written is accurate. Always have sources. So I'm going to let this play.
A champion, we need a winner, and that is Donald. He's the small-town preacher who's become a major surrogate for Donald Trump's campaign for president.
The last thing I want to do is to draw attention away from Mr. Trump's policy.
Pastor Mark Burns, a frequent cable news.
Okay, now he says the last thing he wants to do is draw attention away from, Trump's candidacy. Well, that's exactly what he did.
News guest, a crowd favorite at Trump rallies, even a speaker at the Republican National Convention. From the great state of South Carolina! But before the campaign, he was virtually unknown.
I think Donald Trump is a great judge of character. You would think he would just choose the greatest.
Well, now, they say before the campaign he was virtually unknown. Well, he is well known now because he is a liar. Clearly a habitual liar. I mean, if you're someone who wants to get famous based on lies, that is not a way to get famous. I mean, people say that any kind of publicity is good publicity. It's really not at all.
Names, but Donald Trump values character more so than popularity or name. And I think that I fall in that category.
Pastor Burns' Harvest Praise and Worship Center in Easley, South Carolina is a small operation. The church, just a few folding chairs, tables, and cameras for his televangelism.
Help us to receive the wisdom.
All of that in his house for a church service. I don't see that much stuff in the church. Even some of these bigger churches, I don't see that many cameras. I really don't. I see maybe one or two for live streaming. But for him, come on now.
Of the Lord Jesus Christ.
After attending Trump's November meeting with black pastors in New York, Burns says former campaign manager Corey Lewandowski asked him to speak on Trump's behalf at Bob Jones University. He's been a favorite of the campaign ever since.
He just came out of the blue.
Virginia Beach Navy veteran Damon Davis said,
fast forward this to the actual interview.
Saying is, obviously, this has been manipulated, or either.
Back up a little bit.
They had crossed, and I'm not crossed, but I started the process.
Burns,
thereof in the fraternity ever.
Davis says he contacted Pastor Burns. Soon after, Davis says the webpage disappeared. Well, CNN called Kappa headquarters too. They have no record of him. So when we sat down with Burns, we asked her about that.
I did, without question, say that I had crossed, and I'm not crossed, but I started the process of being a part of.
See, and that right there, he's caught in a lie. He said he did, in fact, say that he had crossed, blinked his eyes, and then said no, that I had not crossed. First lie.
That organization, but that's the farthest that I've gotten.
Is that the bio from your website?
It is, but it is not it is the bio, but this is not an accurate depiction of the bio. I mean, information has obviously been added. I mean, I own up to any mistakes that I've made, like I did with my tweet, but obviously in this case, that's not.
So this is not from your page?
No.
So here's the thing. At his church, there are probably 3, 4, 5 people. So you're trying to hype yourself up as this big man and you don't even have a church. You're definitely not going to have a church now. Who could have manipulated that You're not even well known. Who would have hacked the website? And see, this is my issue. Not only, is he a liar and he's trying to make himself well known, he is a supporter of Donald Trump. Now, all these black supporters of Donald Trump, have y'all ever stopped to think that maybe that these people aren't actually in support of him, that they are being paid to support him? They're selling their souls to support Donald Trump, to sway the black vote, just like the black supporters of Hillary Clinton. I don't think any black person should vote for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Neither of them.
This is from my page, but what I'm saying is, obviously, this has been manipulated or either hacked or added.
CNN asked the site's host, Wix, about the possibility that someone could have tampered with the church's website. The company tells CNN there is no evidence of a hack. And CNN obtained the pastor's full bio from the church's website through an internet archive.
You also claimed that you served 6 years in the Army Reserves. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we called the Army and they said that you had no active Army or Army Reserve service.
No, I wasn't part of the South Carolina National Guard.
Okay, I just asked you about Army Reserves. That was my question. You, in this bio, claimed 6 years in the Army Reserves.
It is reserves. It is the Army South Carolina National Guard is reserves.
Okay, from someone who both of their parents were in the military, the Army Reserves and the National Guard is not the same thing. Those are two completely different things. Now, my mother did serve time in the Air Force, and she did serve time in the Air National Guard. Those are very, very different things.
In a statement to CNN, the U.S. Army says Burns served in the South Carolina National Guard from 2001 to 2005, was discharged in 2008. He has no active Army or Army Reserve service time.
Did you attend North Greenville University?
I did attend North Greenville University.
Did you graduate from North Greenville University?
No, I didn't complete the degree at North Greenville University.
In fact, the university tells CNN he was here one semester.
So he went to college, but he was only there for one semester, so he was nowhere near completion of a degree. So my thing is, this makes him look really dumb, and it also, adds to the portrayal of black people that we're nothing but a bunch of liars and fabricators. And this is what a lot of people think of us anyway. And this just adds to it. Not only is he, a liar, he's a supporter of Donald Trump, but he's really trying to build himself up. And this is what makes black people look lazy, is because we do all these things to try to become famous. And, rather than work hard, we'd rather take the easy way out. And this is where the easy way got him.
Again, the bio that's on your website claims that you earned a Bachelor of Science degree. Did you make that claim?
And you see, he just sat there and didn't say anything because he knew that he was lying. There's nothing to say. There's no justification. There's no way to get him out of that situation. So I'm just, I'm not going to play the whole video. I will leave the link in the description. But this is something that really is bothering me about these black people. Like, it's these black people who are supporting Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. These no-name black people trying to get their name out there. Do you know that that's what you will forever be known as? And that's not something that anyone would want to be known as, or should be want to be known as, a supporter of Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.